Why is the War of the Roses so confusing? Have you ever tried to follow a family drama with too many characters and plot twists? The War of the Roses is just like that, but on a grand historical scale. This conflict, which lasted from 1455 to 1487, was not just a single war. It was a series of civil wars involving two powerful families, the House of Lancaster and the House of York, both of which had claims to the English throne. This situation created a tangled web of rivalries and shifting loyalties that can be hard to untangle. One reason for the confusion is the competing claims to the throne. Both the Lancasters and the Yorks descended from King Edward III, which made their claims legitimate but complicated. The constant changes in leadership, including the mental health struggles of King Henry VI, added to the chaos. There were times when he lost the throne, only to regain it later, making it difficult to keep track of who was in power. Another factor is the sheer number of battles involved. There were at least 16 major battles, along with many smaller skirmishes. Power shifted back and forth, with kings being deposed and restored multiple times. For instance, Richard, Duke of York, initially challenged Henry VI but was killed in battle. His son, Edward IV, later took the throne, only for Henry VI to briefly return to power before being finally defeated. The political landscape was also filled with rivalries among noble families. Powerful families, like the Nevilles, often switched sides, making the situation even more unpredictable. These shifting alliances created a confusing environment where loyalties could change overnight. Additionally, the idea that the throne could be seized by force was already established. This notion, stemming from earlier events like Henry Bolingbroke's usurpation of Richard II, made the concept of legitimate succession unstable. Ambitious nobles were encouraged to press their claims aggressively, further complicating the political situation. The name Wars of the Roses itself can be misleading. It refers to the symbols of the two houses, the red rose for Lancaster and the white rose for York. However, these symbols were not always prominently displayed during the actual conflict, which can confuse modern viewers trying to understand the factions. Finally, the outcome of the wars added to the complexity. The conflict ended with Henry Tudor, later known as Henry VII, defeating Richard III. He united the two houses by marrying Elizabeth of York, which symbolically merged the red and white roses. This resolution came after decades of shifting power, making it challenging to track the events leading up to it. In summary, the War of the Roses is confusing due to its mix of family rivalries, contested royal claims, mental health issues of key figures, shifting noble alliances, and a long timeline filled with battles. Understanding this conflict requires following the complicated relationships and political maneuvers of the time.